Hi friends, Phil here. I wanted to reach out to you today because more than half of the year has gone by and I've been thinking a lot about, have I really lived my life rich with purpose this first half of the year? Have I really been fulfilled? Have I felt satisfied in the things that I've done and accomplished? Or am I just letting life happen to me? And so I wanted to ask you that question. Look back at the first half of this year. I know you probably set out to accomplish some goals and do some things, but did the first half of the year, your life, think about it, were you really living life or were you just letting life happen? Were you a person who was making life happen for you, or were you letting the world around you dictate how your life was going to go? For most people, it's the latter, right? Most people are letting life just happen to them, and they're not living a rich, fulfilled life of purpose, fulfillment, satisfaction, engagement, passion, and joy. They're just not doing that. And if you're not, I want to make sure that from this point forward, this year, you finish out the year really living with some sense of fulfillment and satisfaction and in the life that you're actually here to actually live, right? Not just this year, but moving forward. Look, it took me a long time to get to the point where I was actually living a fulfilled life, a life of feeling, rich and joy and the things that I do. And it took a long time, it was 20 years or more, probably more than 20 years of study and learning lessons the hard way. And I learned a lot of lessons the hard way. But eventually it finally clicked for me. And the reason why it clicked for me, I think, was because I had stored up so much information. I've been studying so much and learning from some of the greatest minds on the planet that ever walked this planet. And I took that information, although I didn't understand a lot of it, I tried to study it, and then I kind of compiled it, and then I simplified it for myself, right? I'm a pretty simple person. So I simplified it for myself, and I started to eventually apply it. And I can tell you this, and I'm not saying this to brag or to boast, but it really made a huge difference for me in my life. And I want to share this with you because of one simple thing. I know I can help you. Look, for most of you, you might know that I wrote a book, okay? It's called From Oil Rags to Riches, How to Live a Life Rich with Purpose. And I really want to encourage you to get this book. You got to pick up a copy. Now, I didn't write this book because I wanted to be a best-selling author. I'm not a writer, really, you know what I mean? I'm just this regular guy who was an auto mechanic for most of his life. I'm not a writer, and I didn't write it for that reason. I wrote it because I had learned so much from the people that I had studied and the people that I had worked with, and I applied that information, and it really did change my life. So I thought I should share this message with other people that maybe are stuck like I was. So I wrote this book to share my message. I wrote this book to share the lessons that I learned and the journey that I was on. And that's why I wrote the book, not to be a bestseller. But then I started to think about this. As I started to receive emails and phone calls and messages through Facebook or whatnot about people who have read my book and the impact that it had on them very quickly, and how they're starting to now live their life differently and see their life from a different perspective and starting to really live life with joy and passion, I realized that I'm doing a disservice not to promote this book. And I'm really not a promoter, right? I don't like to do this. Actually, this is awkward for me to try to promote my book to you. It shouldn't be, but it is. And I hope you're not sensing that through my video here. But it is awkward for me, but it would be a disservice, and I would be not honoring all the people that helped me on my journey, all the people that I learned from and studied with and worked with that helped me understand how to really live life rich with purpose. It would be dishonoring to them for me not to promote this book and get this out to as many people as possible. So I want to encourage you to grab a copy of this book. You can get it on my website, or you can go to Amazon. Simply type in my name, or you can simply just type in the title of the book, and it'll come up. The book is filled with really great lessons, and the other thing too, it's really simple. It's just my story and it's my journey, but it also teaches you all the steps that I learned from all of the study I've done over the last 2 decades to help me get to where I am today. And it won't take you 2 decades because I've compiled it and it can immediately have an impact on you. I'm talking by the 3rd or 4th chapter, you will start to have an internal impact that will show up in your external world. So do yourself a favor and honor the people that helped me. Grab a copy of my book today.